it wasn't as frequent, the outages. They were not as frequent, the load sheddings. And perhaps they say, you guys have failed. It's now about 145 days, or perhaps 160. We are closing into the 200th day since you took over in April. What could be the problem? Because you need to change this narrative amongst we, your consumers. Yes.
I'll bring it this way. When UEB was leaving,
Uganda Electricity Board,
they handed the network to UEDCL.
Yes.
Which did not operate for quite a long time.
And so
it was handed over
brought in UMEME.
Now, when UMEME came into play, it received a network that was dilapidated. It was a very rotten network, for lack of a better one. Yeah,
rotten by UEDCL.
Rotten by the users.
The handling of UEDCL.
Because it was there was growth. Because you had very few customers with UEB. Now UMEME comes in and there's growth. There's growth.
Many got on the grid.
Many people got onto the grid. So UMEME was given the mandate to invest in the network. And surely so, UMEME did that. However, towards the end of the concession, the UMEME concession, there was a reduction in the investments that were being done in the network. For purposes of managing the buyout amount. Someone is leaving tomorrow, you wouldn't expect them to be investing so much. So you realize that towards the end of the concession, there was a reduction in investment in the network. So UEDCL comes into play and takes over a network that has not been invested into for quite some time.
To be specific, about 2.5 years. From the pronouncement of the end of the concession.
Because this pronouncement was done probably 5 years to the end. So probably.
But the confirmation of no renewal came about 2.5 years to this year.
Yes. So UEDCL takes on this network. It's dilapidated state, not really dilapidated that it was really bad, but that the customer was not having a network that was
in English class we simply say dilapidated in quotes.
In quotes. Thank you. So the reason the customer could be saying yes, the outages are seeming more is really that the network wasn't invested in. And trust me, even if it was UMEME that was still here under the same philosophy, and the customer would still be facing that.
Engineer, let me ask you something in that line, because I don't want us to be so far from reality. I'm not saying you are, but I'm only trying to create the reality further. Could that mean for people that are having the frequent outages and perhaps the load sheddings experienced their way is where the dilapidation was much more as compared to other places where it's a little stable, like my place? We are stable.
Exactly.
But before it comes, there's also the issue of growth. Limited investments towards the end of the concession, but the growth has not stopped. There has been a continuous growth of
consumers.
About 10%. Yes, we're talking about July 23rd to September, 200 people applying.
On the existing power.
Exactly. So that's where the problem is.
Amongst other problems.
Exactly. Slow down investments, but then the demand
increased demand.
I'm not waited for the investment to come through so that it's matched. You understand?
Yes.
So we are chasing. That's where the chase is. That's just putting it into perspective. Engineer can.
But to give hope to the listeners out there, the government has availed us money to invest in the network. I think it was close to about $74 million that was availed to us. And what are we going to use this money for? Invest in the network more, upgrade those transformers. Like you've seen during the UMEME days, many people came onto the network. We hadn't invested in it. So we had so many transformers that are now overloaded, so many lines that are growing load. And majority of those now require investment. And this $74 million that we were given is money that we are now putting to that use to ensure that we upgrade the transformers, increase on the number of transformers, work on the dilapidated lines. So it's really so much that we are doing, and we want to give hope to the nation
Okay.
that it's only going to get better.